Hi everyone, I'm Derek, and welcome back to another episode of Chinese Idiom Knows It All. I'm back near the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics to teach you about Chinese idioms. Going back to the original way, I'm actually going to be looking at street signs once again to pick which idiom I talk about today. After going around this whole park and seeing so many different characters, the one that stood out to me the most was bai. For this reason, today's idiom is going to be千方百计. Now this idiom means to use any method necessary to complete an action or a scenario. For the first example of this idiom, you can think of how shops and stores try to attract new customers. They can either try flashy new marketing or even more popular, deals. Whether it's buy one, get one free, big cuts on huge prices, or finally, just a flat percentage off. These are all examples of how companies 千方百计 to attract new customers. Another example is how I try to learn Mandarin. Outside of normal class, I've done so many different ways. I've used flashcards, looked at TV shows, talked to the locals. I've even tried learning the local tongue twisters.
八百标兵奔北坡.
The origins of 千方百计 come from the ancient writer Zhu Xi from the Song dynasty. In his book, he wrote, if you want to catch a thief, you have to be willing to use any means necessary to catch him. And now we can break down the idiom one by one. One interesting thing about this idiom is something I mentioned in a previous episode. Let's see if you can figure it out. 千 means 1,000. Fang means way or direction. Bai means 100. And finally, ji means plan. So it literally means 1,000 directions, 100 plans. Or if you boil it all down, you try so many different ways to accomplish something. One interesting thing, as I mentioned earlier, is the first and the third, 1,000 and 100, and the second and the fourth, plan and way, are very closely related. And as I said before, this is one of the beauties of the Chinese idiom. 千方百计 can be used in many different scenarios and situations. For example,
In order to eat a big mouthful of food, the baby panda has tried many different methods. We can say that the baby panda 千方百计的 to eat. For another example, in order to let the baby pandas go back home, the keeper has also used many different methods. We can say that the keeper is 千方百计的 to let the baby pandas go home.
once again, 千方百计 means to use every method possible to complete a situation. If you wanted to use a different idiom with a very similar meaning, you could say
费尽心思.
Now its antonym, or someone who's kind of lazy or doesn't use a lot of methods to complete something, you could use
走投无路.
Well, that's all I have for today's episode on 千方百计. Thank you so much for watching. Doesn't matter what temperature it is, I'm going to keep going around Beijing teaching you guys all about Chinese idioms. If you can, find your way to the comment section below if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for future episodes. Thank you so much again. Bye.